A car slams into the back of an officer's cruiser, killing the driver. Plus, there's big news in the Dakota Access Pipeline fight. More complete coverage starts now.
Now, from Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5:30 starts with breaking news.
And that breaking news comes from Washington, where the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers announces that they will block the route for the Dakota Access Pipeline. The Corps will not let Energy Transfer Partners build the pipeline under a lake that serves as a Missouri River reservoir. Government officials want the company to explore different routes. It's a big win for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Protesters have joined them for months near the construction site in North Dakota. Those protesters have orders to leave by tomorrow. We're following another breaking story tonight from Oakland, California.
And the fire was just getting too hot, and the smoke was just getting too bad, and I had to leave him there, and I wasn't able to get him out.
A man tells us about the moments he tried to save his friend from that warehouse fire Friday night in the Bay Area. Right now, the death toll stands at 33 people and may go higher because just 35% of the building has been searched. As many as 100 were inside that warehouse as flames devoured the building. Firefighters say there were only 2 exits. Investigators say there was a dance party going on inside when the fire started. The building's owners could face blame for the carnage after code violations come to light. ABC's Dania Bacchus is on the ground in Oakland tonight.
Sunday morning, the agony setting in for family and friends who are desperate to hear from their loved ones.
She's not answering her phone, he's not answering his phone, and no one can get in contact with them. And I tried calling, and it's not like her to not respond to a text.
Authorities saying most victims became trapped on the 2nd floor when the only way out, a stairwell made of wooden pallets, was overtaken by flames.
Within the center of the building, we almost immediately found 4 victims. And within 10 feet of those 4 victims, we found 6 more.
For the second day, authorities sift through the rubble of a 4,000-square-foot warehouse known as the Ghost Ship, a space illegally turned into artist studios and a virtual death trap for partygoers Friday night.
For young people to lose, or anyone else to lose their lives that way, it was preventable.
Just last month, authorities in Oakland started an investigation after numerous complaints of trash and people living illegally in the building. One Oakland City Council member saying the owner needs to take responsibility.
He owns the facility. He clearly knew, he knows what the permit process is. He knows what the fire code is. He knows what the building code is, and he was negligent.
Authorities still have not determined a cause and say the investigation and search efforts could go on for days. Dania Bacchus, ABC News, Oakland.
More flames, this time near Boston. Fire crews worked into the night, putting out this massive fire that spread to as many as 15 buildings. Most of those are apartments. Investigators say it started in a building under construction and strong winds fueled those flames. Only minor injuries in this fire, but 80 people are without a home tonight. And breaking this afternoon, Nebraska's football team is bowl-bound. The Huskers are set to take on Tennessee in the Music City Bowl. The game scheduled for December 30th in Nashville. KETV NewsWatch 7 Sports Director Andy Kendi will have more ahead in sports. We'll go outside for a check of the weather right now. Thankfully, no snow to deal with today as we look live at Shadow Lake Town Center from the Sac Federal Credit Union building. But our Weather Now Storm team forecasts some winter-like temperatures for this week. Meteorologist Sean Everson has the upfront forecast so you can plan your evening. Hi, Sean.
How's it going, dude? Well, today much nicer, much more calm as we wrap up the weekend. Lots of sunshine through the afternoon. Melted a lot of that snow today, and a look outside downtown Omaha right now. Clear skies, cooling off though in the mid-30s. Where the snow was yesterday and stayed on the ground, temperatures struggled to heat up during the day. So temperatures still in the mid-30s in Lincoln, but looking up to the northwest, Columbus 43, Norfolk still at 42 degrees. Clearing skies, we'll see a few more clouds moving late tonight, but the cold air and a chance for some light snow lurks to our northwest. We'll continue to watch that, but through this evening, staying clear and quiet. David?
All right, Sean, thanks. We have an update to Saturday's breaking news. A violent crash forced doctors to amputate the legs of 2 people. Police responded to the wreck on the I-80 westbound ramp to I-480 around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. A man and a woman were outside their van unloading items when a vehicle hit them. 28-year-old Miguel Ramirez was so badly injured, doctors had to amputate both his legs. 34-year-old Hesebdi Rodriguez lost one leg. At last check, both are stable in the hospital. Doctors treated a passenger in the vehicle that hit them with minor injuries. She will be okay. Charges are pending against the driver. Well, around the same time Saturday, police in Council Bluffs were on the side of I-29 investigating a crash when a car slammed into the back of an officer's cruiser. That second crash killed the driver, and tonight we know that person's name. KETV NewsWatch 7's Michelle Bandura has the update live in the newsroom.
David, Council Bluffs police don't know why 72-year-old Bert Ellis of Houston, Texas, ran right into the back of Officer Josh Horner's cruiser. Ellis died after paramedics rushed him to the hospital. Medics also took Officer Horner, a 7-year veteran of the Council Bluffs Police Department, to the emergency room as well. Now, he's home tonight recovering from his minor injuries. Police tell me some drivers are still not moving over or slowing down when they see police and other emergency vehicles on the side of the road. They hope this deadly crash will be a reminder to move over, especially during stormy weather like yesterday's.
There's been several officers killed, seriously hurt, stuff like that. I know I've been hit, so it's scary enough out there. And when you start talking speeds, highway speeds, you're going to talk about a lot more injury.
The move over law has been in effect for several years now in both Nebraska and Iowa. So when you see an emergency or road maintenance vehicles or tow trucks, you are expected to move over to the left lane, or if you can't, slow down. If violated, that fine carries a $100. Now, police are looking into if yesterday's snowy weather caused the driver to lose control. Officer Horner isn't expected back to work for several days. Back to you.
All right, Michelle, with the warning tonight. Michelle, thanks. Tonight, a Metro family asks for your help. Their 5-year-old son, Ryan, has an extremely rare brain disease, but he and his supportive community are fighting to find a cure. KETV NewsWatch 7's Lauren Scott has this story.
Hunter syndrome is an extremely rare disease with only about 2,000 cases known around the world. One of those cases right here in the Metro.
In many ways, Ryan Austin is like any other 5-year-old. He loves to run and play with mom and dad. But when he was only 2, they noticed something was different. He started forgetting his words like "I love you" and "mommy," and he could no longer count. Soon after, Ryan was diagnosed with a rare terminal disease called Hunter syndrome.
The body lacks an enzyme needed to reabsorb or dispose of the normal waste in a person's body.
His parents say the best way to describe it is baby Alzheimer's. While Ryan's current treatments are helping, his parents say they are only temporary.
The weekly treatments only help reduce the effects to Ryan's body, and it doesn't last in his system very long.
On Sunday, they continued their journey towards raising money for a cure.
It's very, very difficult to get any kind of funding. There's no government funding, so it's left up to the parents and loved ones of the families that are affected.
The community came out for an all-you-can-eat pancake feed, including a raffle, clowns, and St. Nick himself. The family needs to raise $194,000 to start the clinical trials for Hunter syndrome. So far, working with 10 other families nationwide, they have raised $120,000.
The family says 100% of all donations will go towards finding a cure to Hunter syndrome. And if you weren't able to make it out today, but you still want to donate, I have a link on this story, KETV.com. For now, reporting in Papillion, Lauren Scott, KETV NewsWatch 7.
The local creative community shows off hot ovens today during a holiday open house. Hot Shops is in North Downtown Omaha near 13th and Nicholas Streets. Today, glass blowers were there showing curious people how they turn sand into art.
The whole process of making glass is very fascinating. I mean, where else can you play with fire and have fun, you know? The whole process of making glass it's fun to watch. The glass that comes out is beautiful.
And it makes an excellent gift for the holidays. After the demonstrations, we found plenty of shoppers on hand browsing through those displays. It's not just glass at Hot Shops. You can also find pottery, weaving, painting, custom furniture, all kinds of artwork. We're covering the Trump transition now. The president-elect's campaign manager says they are adding more names to the list in a search for a Secretary of State. Trump will conduct more interviews this week, but we don't know who he'll talk to. Mitt Romney, Rudy Giuliani, David Petraeus, and Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee are all in the mix for the job right now. And as Trump continues his post-election victory tour, the president-elect says he'll make a stop in Iowa this week. Both Trump and Vice President-elect Mike Pence say they'll visit the Iowa Event Center in Des Moines Thursday. Doors open at 4 in the afternoon. The event starts at 7. Staying in Iowa, a Walmart store reopened today. It's where 3 people died after a pickup truck crashed into the building. Investigators say the Thursday morning crash appears unintentional. 2 store employees and a 76-year-old customer died. The pickup truck's 66-year-old driver went to the hospital for treatment. That driver is out of the hospital tonight. More to come here on KETV NewsWatch 7, including the final farewell in Cuba. A funeral today for Fidel Castro as those who loved and hated him marked the event. The latest from Santiago ahead. Plus, meteorologist Sean Everson returns with a look at a winter-like forecast for us here at home. Prepare for some chilly temps this week.
You're watching Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7, with David Earl. Your Weather Now forecast with meteorologist Sean Everson and Nebraska's Sportscaster of the Year, Andy Kendi. From 7 Burlington Station, this is KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5:30.